Blackpink's Lisa is undeniably one of the most influential idols in K-pop, yet her solo career has been anything but smooth as several setbacks have left fans questioning what exactly went wrong. Lisa's solo journey officially kicked off in 2021 with the release of Lalisa, which was a highly anticipated debut that fans had expected to take the industry by storm. However, while the title track did well commercially, the overall promotional effort left much to be desired as fans were ultimately disappointed with the rollout of her solo. Many fans felt that Lisa's solo debut was rushed, with YG Entertainment failing to give her the same level of support seen in other Blackpink members' solo debuts, leading many to question whether her solo career would be as successful as other Blackpink members. At the time, many disappointed fans pointed out the lack of proper marketing as she received very limited performances and even missed many opportunities that could have elevated the project, like sending her on interviews or variety shows. Instead of a solo debut fans could be proud of, her company left them with comments such as, "Part of me is thinking that YG blew all their budget on the music video, resulting in less funds for other marketing activities." Some couldn't help but compare her rollout to Jennie's solo, which was extensively promoted with a strong push from the company, while Lisa's debut felt almost like an afterthought despite her massive international fan base. Fortunately, both fans and Lisa managed to push through the tough times as it ultimately became a project to be proud of, leading Lisa to proceed with her next project, Rockstar. After her long-awaited return started with the Rockstar single on June 27, 2024, many hoped that this time things would be different. Lisa had now started her very own label, LLOUD, and it seemed like things would finally be looking brighter for her as fans hoped she would have more creative freedom and control over her career. However, despite the excitement leading up to the release, Rockstar was met with mixed reactions. Seeing the release, fans generally praised Lisa's stage presence and confidence in the song, but the track itself didn't appear to be to everyone's taste. Some felt it lacked impact, while others thought it didn't showcase her full potential. As netizens wrote, "Lisa is amazing, but the song isn't really my style. And it's better than Lalisa, but I still feel like she could bring something like Money again." While the album did manage to chart globally in top 100 and top 200 spots, it didn't become the viral hit that some had expected, which is why fans turned on her company yet again, with more complaints. Fans quickly came to the conclusion that this was another case of a lack of promotional period, as fans pointed out that Lisa should have been heavily promoting the song from day one. Now that she established We Are Loud, why is it happening all over again with Rockstar? This is extremely disappointing. Some netizens pointed out that without dance challenges or viral moments, the song struggled to stay relevant. Many felt that while non-fans initially checked out the release, there was nothing to keep them engaged with Lisa afterward due to the lack of ongoing promotions. But the frustrations didn't stop there, as the handling of Lisa's solo projects took another massive hit when her debut album, Alter Ego, leaked just days before its scheduled release in February of this year. Fans were heartbroken to see all the hard work that had been put into the album exposed early, especially when Lisa herself admitted during a live stream that the leak had deeply affected her as she had worked on the album for over a year. Seeing this, fans took to doing their best to support her, refusing to listen to the leaked material and encouraging others to wait for the official release, as comment sections were flooded with empathetic words such as, "I feel so bad for her. She worked so hard." However, what made matters worse was the speculation that RCA Records, the label partnered with Lisa's company LLOUD, may have played a role in what happened. Some fans had noticed that physical copies of Alter Ego had already been spotted in stores before the official release date, and seeing as products were released early, it would be easy for anyone to get a hold of them and leak the album. This sparked a massive wave of criticism towards RCA Records for not protecting their artist with their mismanagement. Lisa's company LLOUD later released a statement addressing the issue, expressing their disappointment over the leak and assuring fans that they were working with RCA to take appropriate action. But while the response acknowledged the problem fans had been raising, not many felt reassured by their words, as many fans had already long been feeling like Lisa had been let down at every turn. To make matters worse, if the Rockstar era was concerning, the rollout of her album, Alter Ego, was even more alarming. When the album officially dropped on February 28th of this year, many fans were left in disbelief when reports surfaced that the album had sold just about 30,500 copies on its first day, a massive drop compared to her debut album Lalisa, which had sold over 330,000 copies in the same time frame. Given the fact that Lisa has only grown in popularity as a solo artist, many expected her sales to increase, not decline, and it came as a massive shock to them to see just how much the number had fallen. Naturally, this sparked intense discussion among fans, as many started speculating that the lower numbers were due to changes in distribution since Lisa was no longer under YG Entertainment. This time, her album sales were primarily reported through her own LLOUD by RCA Records platform rather than traditional K-pop stores that contribute to Hanteo chart chart figures. This led some fans to suspect that the actual number of purchases wasn't reflected in the official count, as her private sales perhaps never reached the charts. Still, others saw the extreme drop as a worrying sign, as many commented that something wasn't right. It was suggested that the actual solo releases could be at fault here, as they ultimately lacked the appeal needed to drive high physical album sales, as Blackpink's core fandom had always been more engaged with streaming and digital platforms rather than physical purchases. However, the issues haven't been limited to just the music side of things. In fact, her company's decision to market her song under the general pop category in Western markets put her against established artists, something she just couldn't compete with. Now fans are wondering if the outcome might have been different if Lisa had been introduced as a fresh new artist in the West, rather than jumping straight into big appearances like the Oscars and the Vanity Fair cover. Aside from this, even her merchandise has sparked controversy, adding even more to the frustration fans have felt as they feel like she isn't getting the treatment she deserves. One of the most talked about concerns lately has been the design of her newly released light stick. At first, fans were excited to see Lisa's own light stick, which has been a long-awaited drop that would truly solidify her independence as a solo artist. However, once the star design was revealed, the reaction was mixed. While many admired its unique look, concerns quickly arose about its practicality, with the main issue being the sharp edges. Fans were quick to point out that the light stick's design might not be safe to bring to concerts, with some even speculating that certain venues in the US and UK might go as far as banning it completely from venues. One fan even commented, "Looks hard, but I would not want to stand next to someone waving that thing around. Could end bloody." Many ultimately questioned whether the product was properly thought through, considering its intended use in crowded concert environments, and the backlash only intensified the ongoing conversation about Lisa's solo career being mismanaged. The light stick was just another example of how fans believe that she isn't receiving the same level of careful planning that other artists do. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get any worse, Lisa faced yet another hurdle as official reviews for Alter Ego started pouring in. Fans were shocked when the well-known publication Pitchfork gave an overly harsh review of the album, with the overall review score being 5.2 out of 10 and brutally direct criticism of both Lisa and her music. One particularly harsh comment from the review stated, "Lisa, who is part of the record-setting K-pop girl group Blackpink, needs to convince you that she has depth without her bandmates. Alter Ego proves she doesn't." Other critiques seem to focus on the album's lack of creative risk-taking, with the reviewer claiming that Lisa was playing it too safe and that her best songs were carried more by their production than by her own artistic presence. The review quickly went viral, igniting many debates among fans, as some agreed with the criticisms, admitting that while Lisa was extremely talented, the album itself could have pushed boundaries more. One fan remarked, "The album's strengths are its production and features, but Lisa doesn't really shine in it." Others, however, felt the review was unnecessarily harsh, accusing Pitchfork of deliberately trying to stir controversy and shine a bad light on Lisa, especially after she had been through so much already. One fan wrote, "That first paragraph alone is absolutely brutal, damn," with others calling the review rage bait, arguing that Lisa was being held to unfair standards. While negative reviews aren't necessarily a targeted thing, with people being entitled to their own opinions, especially well-known musical publications, the sheer number of obstacles Lisa has faced made this particular criticism feel like yet another attempt at sabotaging her career. However, despite the negativity, fans tried their best to keep things positive and keep supporting Lisa's solo career, but just when the dust seemed to settle, yet another controversy arose. This time, it was about the signed copies of Alter Ego, as fans who had ordered the special edition albums had been eagerly waiting for them, only to notice something strange when they started arriving. The issue seemed to be that the signatures appeared to be identical across multiple copies, something that immediately sparked suspicions of auto-pen technology being used instead of Lisa personally signing each album. This was especially frustrating for fans who had paid a premium price for what they believed would be a hand-signed item, leading many to suspect that the company had yet again attempted to take the easy way out with their management. Online discussions quickly filled with frustrated fans sharing side-by-side images of their albums, showing identical signatures with no variation, as fans commented. "It just feels intentionally misleading, and if they're going to use AutoPen, they should at least be upfront about it and charge a different price." With all the setbacks piling up, fans can't help but feel that Lisa might have missed the mark with her solo career, as things clearly haven't gone as planned. Now, some are questioning whether the poor promotion was really the main issue, or if things could have turned out differently had Lisa made other creative choices with her music after leaving YG. What do you think?